What's good, squad? Teaminator here, back for another episode review. Another review of episode, you know what I'm saying. Haha. Yeah, it's super late. Of course, we got to do this review late. Why not? We're going to be getting oriented soon back to the other work schedules, so I might as well do the review of the Shadow Collective set. You heard it right, ladies and gents. We are opening up Maul's kit and seeing what we got in store. We are going to be expanding on the Imperial Regimen, Rebel faction, Separatist faction, and Republic, but we're also going to have Darth Mual's little syndicates group join the fray as well. And for it being the price that it is, I'd figured I'd take the liberty and give a little set review and see if it is worth the price and the talk of everybody's to-do list, I guess. You know what I'm saying. With it being Atomic Mass Gaming, of course, being the new company for Star Wars Legions, they've been pumping out these guys left and right. Very exciting to see what we got in store. So with this, we're going to have a little bit of a building sesh with these guys. It's probably going to be a little bit before I get these guys all built and done. I will have a personal link to my Instagram account. I will be basically posting all these guys once they're done primed and all that good stuff, primed and painted. And if you guys are interested, I might put some of these out in the market, so I'll also put my eBay account in the description below. Without further ado, let's get to the biggest and baddest of the cards of the bunch. Everything in here is more so new than not, so I'm going to be going over just about everything, but we aren't going to be doing the building today. So we're going to go with the command cards first. We're going to start off with the first pip, which is Ploy. No units. You must nominate a mercenary unit. You can nominate a operative unit to choose one of your order tokens. Place it face down in the card. May look at this token anytime. If you withdraw an order token to your order pool, may use the order token on this card instead. So basically, you're able to just like put a unit on hold and just wait for the order. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. The fact that it's one pip, it makes you robust in terms of going first, but there's a lot of other abilities that can counter this, so it's, for tier-wise, I'd definitely say it's like a C tier. It's not the greatest, but you could do something with it, especially for your opponent if they're doing a basic army. This is where these cards would come into hand. Aggression will be your second pip card with 2 units on the horizon. You must nominate mercenary units while issuing orders. This card, you may issue up to 2 fewer orders. For each order not issued, choose a different friendly mercenary at range 1 to 3. Each chosen unit gains an aim token. So you pretty much just get like some extra bolster to your army. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Discretion. Having 3 units activated, you must nominate a mercenary unit. Of course, when issuing orders, you may issue up to 3 fewer orders. For each order not issued, choose 3 different mercenaries. They basically gain a dodge. Basically, it's aggression, but discretion. Witch magic. Now we got some of Maul's new cards, which is very interesting. Unfortunately, it has to be this Shadow Collected Maul, unfortunately. But, I mean, take what you can get. You must nominate Shadow Maul. While building a command hand, treat this as though it has 1 pip. Remove up to 2 wound tokens on any number, and any number of poison or immobilize tokens for Maul. When Maul activates, he recovers. This is a great counter to Maul's engine of suffering and dealing damage to himself in order to bolster himself. In this case, he is going to be his own master. And he gets a little bit of a light and shine, which is great, but at the same time, Darth Maul is an asshole. I mean, this guy literally killed Obi-Wan's girl. I won't forgive him for that. He's dark. He's very dark. Anyways, Maul in 1 unit is going to be his second pip, his Eminence. When you nominate Maul, Maul gains 1 dodge token. Each other trooper unit at range 1 of Maul gains 1 suppression token. When another unit friendly, oh god, I'm reading it way too fast. Bear with me, it's like 2 a.m. When another friendly trooper unit at range 1 of Maul activates, it skips its rally step. That unit cannot be suppressed or panicked. So this is great for a beginning attack or a beginning assault on a faction of your opponent's army. I wouldn't say it would be a great card to go off of like straight into the fray. By the way, Witch Magic, definitely going to that on A tier, if not S. This probably would be B. His Eminence, you get a little playability and a little bit of protection. On top of that, you're basically giving your units immunity to suppression, which is nice. Going on over to seize what power we can. This is going to be a very interesting one. Maul in 2 units must nominate Maul and place one aim and 3 surge tokens on this card. Each time an enemy unit in range 1 of Maul spends an aim or dodge surge token, place 1 token of the same type on this card. Friendly mercenaries can spend tokens on this card as if it was their own unit. I'm just reading it over right quick, making sure I know the mechanics of it. Okay, so basically this is a freebie card. So long as Darth Maul is able to be within range 1 of anyone who is using their tokens, you're basically able to copy and paste that. That is kind of that's kind of broken, because then this card just acts as a free cache and anybody gets to use it. That's pretty cool. I mean, for what Maul managed to gather together, he managed to get a pretty nasty little circuit going. And then you have Maul's regular cards as well. I will be putting this on my eBay account if anyone's interested. Definitely be posting a link in description. All these out of the way, we are going to finally do the 5 ranking system for each of these guys right quick. Darth Maul, we have a little bit of an upgrade going on with this guy. Jump 1, Allies of Convenience. Basically, your army may include additional mercenary units of any rank. You can issue orders to friendly mercenary units regardless of affiliation. So pretty much, if your ranks are scum and villainy, you're able to issue orders to them directly. That's pretty much what it means. You got deflect, just passively, which is nice. Immune to pierce, basically can't get pierced. Joy of mastery, pretty much, so long as you get a wound, you pretty much get to move another. First time you enter play, suffer a wound. So wound 1, as soon as he activates, he automatically gets Joy of Mastery activated. So he is going to practically be a 5 health character with 6 health. That's not bad. The fact that he doesn't have any surges, not too fond of, but I'm sure it kind of mixes in with the rest of these cards. All these other guys, they have surges for defense or offense, so that's basically his hand. In terms of his pricing and his abilities, he's definitely worth the price for the battlefield. Now, unfortunately, you do have to add the Darksaber. You don't have to, but I would suggest it. And the main reason why is because the Darksaber has several different benefits, which I'll get to in one moment. All in all, I'm going to just sum this guy up right quick by just looking at everything on here. His basic dual-bladed lightsaber is pretty much the same in terms of stats. Nothing really changed. Yeah, he's not too terrible. I'd give him a 4 out of 5. And I'll give him that because his cards, well, I'd almost give him a 5 out of 5 with his cards, but errors without reason. We'll get to his cards that you can attach to him in a minute. But first, we're going to be going to Mandalorian Super Commandos. We have 1 of them, and 2 Black Suns, and 2 Pike Significates. So these guys are really powerful, and getting the expansion pack for these guys is probably mandatory in order to have Maul's Shadow Collective to really be effective. With that being said, they are going to have Jump 2. These guys are super commandos, like it says. Unfortunately, it's only going to have 3 for the troops to be popped in, but they have a vast array of weapons and ammunition to go off of. I'm going to give these guys a 5 out of 5, 100%. They only have 1 health, but they have an extra courage value, and they have a surge to defense, and they have red defense die, and they get to move 3 spaces. That is disgusting. These guys are going to be really obnoxious on the field. On top of that, their abilities are going to be this. Defend 1. You're issued an order, you gain 1 dodge token instantly, right off the bat. Impervious to defense. Basically, you get to roll additional defense die, independent aim. So long as you activation gain a name. You basically get a dodge and a name right then and there. That's pretty nice. 5 out of 5. Black Sun Enforcers. These guys are going to be more or less super battle droids. You're going to have 4 in per unit. Coming in at 48, they're going to be just as expensive as super battle droids. And on top of that, you get to have the Separatists kind of dabble in them a little bit. Dauntless is going to be one of the new abilities going on the back. Has a little bit of an explanation. We're going to have to look at the abilities right here, right quick. All right, unfortunately, I don't know what Dauntless means right off the bat in my head, so I will I'll edit and right about now. And on top of that, we'll go down the line, continuing on. Independent aim. As soon as they activate, they get an aim. Self-preservation. When checking, rather, if you're panicked, you cannot use the courage value of this unit. Wait a minute. When checking, rather, your panic, you cannot use the courage value of units that are not the same affiliation as you. Gotcha. So pretty much these guys are on their own faction. You pretty much need like your own commander in order for the Black Sun to like activate. Since they're in like, their own faction, there's pretty much like a little bit of oh man, like a little bit of uncoordination. Like these guys are strong within themselves, but they pretty much keep to their own. Uh, I'll give these guys a 3 out of 5. They're average. They're like a super battle droid with a couple downsides. They do have good close quarters combat, so these guys would be terrifying to be fighting up close and personal, which is good to know. Black Sun Virgo. Aid. When you would gain an aim or dodge, surge, or another friendly sun unit at range 1 in line of sight, you may gain that token instead. If they do, you gain 1 suppression token. So basically he can steal the token but get a suppression for it. I mean, I guess that's good if you're in a pinch. Dauntless. Okay, here's the ability. After rally, you suppressed but not panicked. You may gain 1 suppression token to perform a free action. Okay, that's not too terrible. So after they rally and if they're suppressed, they basically can get another suppression and move. Well, that gets them out of trouble if anything. So Dauntless, that does help them out a teeny bit, but I'm still going to keep those other guys at a 3 out of 4, mainly because of how common they kind of act. And on top of that, their range isn't that great. You would have to have a little bit of an increased either that or you'd have to basically like really invest in like close range combat, but even then it's like it's a gamble because if your opponent manages to knock out half your army or half your troops right then and there, it's like all those points you put into it is just completely burnt out. Independent aim, start activation. You don't have if you have an order token, basically gain a name. That's pretty much it. Martial arts, he's a little above average. I'd give him a 4 out of 5. Decent health, decent defense, decent weaponry. Not ridiculous though. Doesn't have that much to add to the table, but then again, it's not a lot to subtract. So Black Sun Virgo, he's just nice to have, I guess. Pike Syndicate, Foot Soldier, these guys are going to be able to be added to anyone, and this right now is currently going to be added to the Empire, or maybe the Black Sun, but the Black Sun are a little expensive, so we're going to go for a cheaper option with the Pike's Foot Soldiers. These guys, I'd probably pop a 4 out of 5. I would just say that right now. Capo would probably be a 5 out of 5. No, he'd be a 3 out of 5. For him being commander, he's rather regular or average. He's a little bit above average. Pretty much he has aid. If you gain aim or dodge or surge token with another friendly unit is in line of sight. Pretty much same thing. Danger sense 2. You may choose to not remove up to 2 suppression, and you basically be able to roll 2 extra dice. That's not too terrible. Independent dodge at the start of activation. If you don't have dodge, you get a dodge. Other than that, he's practically regular. And for his foot soldier, he's a little bit better than the Imperial Trooper or the Rebel Trooper, in my opinion. Outmaneuver, basically gets to spend dodge, cancel out the crits. That's the best thing that these guys have. Self-preservation, same thing. Independent dodge, same thing. These guys are average. They're a little slippery, but they're not indestructible. But out of all of the foot soldiers, of all 3, well, out of all 2, I should say the Black Sun or the Pike Syndicate, in terms of pricing, I'd say you should go with Pikes. And the main reason is because you have 2 white dice that can pop crits a lot more commonly than a regular red. A red dice, you're definitely more common to get a hit, but there's no piercing or nothing like that, so it's just a little flashy for the dice, in my opinion. You want to try and get the most for your dice. Black Sun Enforcer basically gets to gain cash, dodge during your setup. You get into dodge on this guy. You get to use it whenever you feel like it. For 11 points, that's not terrible. Black Sun Virgo, it's basically him, but as a leader card that you can just pop on your basic units. Magdet Enforcer, this probably be the one guy that I would have on this on the Black Sun 24/7, mainly because of the range. It would be pretty much obvious. They'd be like they are a grenadier unit, basically. Scattergun Enforcer, that'd probably be the second choice, but he is rather expensive, but you do have the Pierce, so he makes up for it. Going on over to the Pikes, we'll have the regular Foot Soldier, basically cash aim. They're able to re-aim. It's not too terrible. They're cheaper than the clone units, so I'll take it. Basically, you got the Capo for an addition for the Pikes. Independent Surge, activation. If you do not have an order token, you gain a Surge token. Leader, boom. Not too terrible. Electro Whip. Now, this guy would be very interesting to see how the Pikes would activate with these. With that being said, he is suppressive, and you get one immobilized token, and he's only 10 points. So you have some playability with the Pikes. I'd honestly choose the Pikes over the Black Sun anytime because they're hella cheap. I mean, you got a sniper for 24 points. Like, this is ridiculous. You get to have impact. That's not terrible. It's very interesting. And then going to the Super Commandos, you have the Gunslinger. Now, this guy, all the Super Commandos are hella expensive. Keep that in mind when you are building your deck. You're not going to want to have too many Super Commandos because they will die if you don't know how to use them correctly, and they will become a target. But Gunslinger is very interesting. A Marksman, Super Commando Marksman. You're going to have a range 3, basically gain precise 1 when you spend an aim. You get to roll 1 additional. You're going to have a little bit of a rainbow set with this dice. Not great, but not terrible. I'd probably go for the Gunslinger instead of the Marksman, in my personal opinion. You have a range 2, but if you're able to... Yeah, I mean, this deck, I feel like it would probably be a very up-close and personal kind, like a close quarters style. Mandalorian, Super Commando, just an extra regular. You get the cash surge. Basically get to have 2 surges cash on to them. Super Commando jetpack rockets. Ooh, that would be nice, nice, nice. So you can only use this once, but you have a range 4, and you have basically red dice to throw for each Super Commando that you would have. Blast 1, critical impact while attacking that unit, has armor, change up to 1 hit as a critical result. Not bad. Next, we're going to have shields. This is good, but unfortunately you don't have regeneration, so it's not terrible, or it's not great. But, you know, Super Commando shields, it's good for a kick. Rook Cast. Now, this guy would be a little interesting to have in the Super Commando set. Basically, you gain routine Maul at the start of activation phase. If you're in range 1 to 2 of Maul, you gain 1 aim or dodge token, and this guy is your leader. And it's 2 health, an extra 5 points for 2 reds and 1 white instead. I don't know. I feel like there's a minor trade-off. Hold on, let's see. Go back to the Gunslinger right quick. I'm pretty sure that Gunslinger has just about the same dice roll. Nope, it's black dice instead. And you'd have lethal 1. Yeah, I honestly would go with I'd go with the Gunslinger because you have lethal on that versus routine. Which, I mean, you do get a dodge, but I'd rather have the other offensive alternative. Darksaber. Darth Mual is basically going to have a rotary cannon for a lightsaber. You pretty much gain cunning. You gain search to crit as well, which is very nice. This is why I would say you'd probably need to have this at all times for Darth Maul, because you gain search to crit. Sidearm melee, ranged, impact 2, pierce 2. It's all the same. Now, unfortunately, Maul isn't able to attack with both weapons at once. He doesn't have versatile, but this thing would be great for... It'd still be pretty great. It wouldn't be terrible, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But other than that, these are all the new cards. Everything else is standardized and the same. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. We will be having some stuff being sold on eBay. Go check it out. Until next time, this is Teaminator signing off. Bye bye.